Hi, Green High School and Carter. Happy Festivus. All right, let's get into slight timing issue on the coming up to port, but man, that was really sharp. Very nice. Excellent look here. Sockets lined up, the belts just perfect. Who's calling commands? Ah, great. That was very good. Excellent timing with the tempo from marching to the wheel. So on the halt, you can see right here the right rifle guard has stopped just short. So everybody else is lined up like this, and then the right rifle guard is right here. So just slight just a slight variation there, which isn't all that bad, but still we're looking for that, that level of excellence. So let me explain the end step to you. What's what I call the end step. So your end step needs to be the same, just like the rest of your steps. The end step is the last step that you take in the current direction. So if you're executing a flanking movement, you're going to the right, then it will be right flank march. This is your end step. It needs to be the same length throughout your team, okay? And then there's a whole bunch more that goes into that, but then the flank and all that. So that's the end step. So it's the same thing for the halt. Colors: halt, step, close. Now remember, so let me explain this too. You're at attention, you're halted, forward, march. The first step you take, notice how my hands move. So you have that 45-degree angle, but notice how my hand moves to straight ahead. That's a transition. Both of your feet need to make that transition as you start off marching. So transition, transition. Now it's natural to do that if you're thinking about it and you march with your toes pointed forward, which you should do. Now we we get our marching from the British, more from the Prussians, but a little bit from the British. But the British march like this, and they say that it's for. So officers created this is centuries ago. Officers created the marching techniques and the whole stomping thing and all that, and there was a reason for the stomp for facing movements, and at the halt. But as far as marching with the feet out like this, there's no reason for it at all. As a matter of fact, it's really, really bad technique. It screws up your ankles, your knees, your hips, and then goes into your lower back. So, but they'll never listen to an American guy. But what you shouldn't do is march like this. So you need to transition, transition. Now the end step for that halt, you're marching forward, colors, halt. This is your end step, that right foot. Not only do you transition back to that 45-degree angle, but the distance from heel to heel needs to be the same for the whole team. Whether you all make it a 24-inch or a 6.5-inch step, that's up to you. I would consider still keeping that 24-inch step, but it all needs to be the same. And most of the team, except for right rifle, at least at this point, took the same length of step. Now, the measurement, I don't know. And honestly, it doesn't matter if it was 24, 22, 18. That's about the same. The same length as the rest of the steps. So judges are probably not going to notice a step that is maybe 4 or 6 inches shorter. That's not a big deal. But if you're going much shorter, then yeah, that's probably going to be noticed. But make sure that end step is the same. Excellent sequence there. That's really good. Good face in march by both of the guards. Hopefully the judges stay out of your way. Good hand positions here. So, organizational, excellent job, nice and horizontal. And I know that the front of the flag now, the top really, is heavier. The color is rolled, and then you've got the case on there, and plus it's sticking out way out there. I get that. However, U.S. bearer, you've got to make sure that it's the height doesn't matter. We have different height for the color bearers. That's not a big deal. As long as that staff is underneath the armpit, you're good to go. But you've got to keep that staff horizontal. So instead of the facing movement there, what I would suggest, so left rifle guard, I'll do your position first. So you march in, left, right, left. As you come in, the staff is this way, but you're marching this way. So you've got an angle difference. So instead of that teeny tiny little facing movement, which we don't do. See, we don't do these little tiny things in the U.S. military, these little facing movements. So many cadets think that you report, and you have to make this teeny tiny little facing movement that salute the commander. No, we don't do that. We look at the commander and we salute. That's how we do that. So here, what I suggest, instead of doing this tiny facing movement, is you march forward and your outside foot comes to facing forward, but then again at that angle, and then you're coming in, and then you can close your feet like that, so that you end up from facing the angle to facing the staff, and that's both of the color bearers or the guards can do that at the same time. Now, having said that, if you're at the outside foot and then bringing in the left on the left side, the guard on the opposite side is going to have to do it a little bit differently. So the guard on the opposite side is then, here, we'll go here, marching this way. So it's 1, 2, 3, let's say it's 4 steps. You have to come and put your foot on, it'll be the inside foot for the right rifle guard. So put the foot on the inside and then come around and come to attention. I highly suggest that. It's a little more smooth, no little tiny facing movement. Judges might notice this, but I'm guessing they won't, because they're untrained. Judges are untrained, and they don't pick up on little stuff like that most of the time. The only exception to that is a judge who's been doing this a long time, and the Ohio pennant. Nicely done. Wow, I'm impressed. So I'm going to go back a little bit here. I really like the Ohio flag. It's very different. So it looks, let me get my staff here. So what it looks like you're doing, and I'll move that out of the way. It looks like you're doing this. So the left hand is holding the staff, but the right hand is doing all the turning. So here's what I suggest. You're here. Notice my hands are close together. Unfurl so that there's twist, 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 twist. So it's a little more smooth as the flag comes out, and not twist, pause, twist, pause, twist, pause. It takes a little longer. So if you twist, 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 and even come up as you twist, 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 twist like this, it's so much more smooth. The flag comes out a little bit faster, maybe even half the time that it takes now. And then what you can do is, by keeping the hands together, it's a little easier to do that twist, 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 twist without the pause in there. Yeah, and see see the flagstaff moving like that. Sorry, dog's barking there. So did you unfurl all the way? I'm not sure. So it doesn't look like it. So what you need to do, let me get the top half of a staff. So remember what you need to do, even though you're at an angle. So traditionally, what the military calls for, I'll do it this way. What the military calls for is you unfurl and you come to where the spade is flat. Even furling as well. Same thing, you come to where the spade is flat and then you continue putting on the case. Or here, what you're going to do then is push that staff up and then go into the socket. But the spade needs to be flat, and it wasn't flat. You had some angle to both of the spades. If you, as you're working here, are you working with a? It looks like you're working with a 3x5 US. You know, you can have. Yeah, and I see the stars as well, so there shouldn't be stars here. You can see that, and it looks like there's fringe wrapped around. So I'm not exactly sure that you unfurled all the way, which would be a point against you at least. It's without unfurling all the way, you're not accomplishing exactly what you're supposed to do. But make sure that when you stop, even though you have to lift the staff so that the flag material doesn't touch anything beneath it, lift the staff so that the spade is just above eye level, and then you'll be able to see that the spade is flat, and then bring that right arm back and push into, don't hit my ceiling fan, push into bringing the staff vertical and then putting that lower ferrule into the harness socket. Nicely done there, though. I really appreciate the bearers using that left hand to guide the ferrule into the socket. That's really good. So I need to go back now, and I want to see the guards. Excellent. Good. You're holding it like a book. That's wonderful. Very good. Yeah, you didn't unfurl all the way. So U.S. might have, and see with with the Ohio flag being a little different, being a pennant, and a bit, maybe a bit shorter, maybe a bit longer. I don't know. Anyway, so one thing though here, if you're looking to stop simultaneously, and you want both of those spades flat, so you're holding your staffs at an angle, you want them flat. That's for definite. What you can do though, as you're unfurling, instead of using that twist like that, what you can do is, if you notice that let's say I'm the Ohio bearer, and I'm noticing that the U.S. is almost completely unfurled, and the spade will be flat in about a turn or so, a whole revolution, a whole complete turn. If I notice that and I'm a little behind, what I can do is twist a little more here with both hands and kind of speed up, whereas you can't do that with this, because you got that twist and you can only go so far. But here you can manipulate your wrists a little bit here and reach under, and so I think you can play with that in that manner, so that you come to to where both spades land flat. And I would let me hold on just a sec. I want to pause here. I want to play around with the staff here, and because I've got an idea. All right. So what I was doing was I was I was noticing the difference between having the staff angle up, still having it under my armpit, and then noticing the difference between that and this. And this is very awkward. The position that you have right here, this is very awkward, and it's not really what you're supposed to be doing. Having the staff so far away from under your armpit. Where do you pull it out there? Okay, all right. So you start angling by pushing your right down and pulling the staff out of the armpit. I see. So what really you should be doing is keeping the staff in the armpit, twisting here and raising here like this. And then once you're finished, once the staff is flat, then you bring your right hand back and you bring the staff up into that socket. It's better technique from my point of view. Now, you can completely ignore everything that I say in this video. It won't bother me. However, I don't think really that you're executing the method here that's supposed to happen. The Flagstaff manual and guide-on manual are the same, except so you know, this is present guide-on, okay? So from here, this is present guide-on. This is where we get the unfurling and the furling, either way. So you're supposed to be at present guide-on. There is no present Flagstaff. It's you know, present colors with the dip there. But using this method, I think, is not following the spirit of the description of excuse me, of what excellent job, guards. Wow, fantastic. Ohio, that was really good too. So you're wearing the ceremonial cap. You've got the stripes on the trousers. You really should have chin straps down. You could easily have chin straps down. Judge, get out of the way. Thank you. That was very good. Guards, I liked how you waited there both and then dropped your hands together. Excellent. Whether I like it or dislike it doesn't matter. It was good technique. Let me see that present arms again. All right, so at least I can speak to the left rifle guard here. What you did, you went, I know you're using Army technique, and that's fine. I'm not a huge fan of Jay Rossi forcing everybody to not use their service technique. But what you did here, you went to port, but it was very high. The upper sling swivel was at eye level, and then you turned the rifle and dropped it. When you should, let me show you here. I'll stand back so you can see this. Going to port should be an arm drop here, so that the stacking swivel isn't very high up. You've got port here very, very high. Instead of keeping the right arm or the right forearm horizontal, it's a little higher. So you're bringing the rifle out, but keeping it high like this, and then reaching up and turning and then dropping. So what I suggest, extend the right arm so that you bring the rifle to the port position. Remember, port here, and then we drop and the arms extended. So this is kind of reverse of going from port to right shoulder, where we have the arm extended, bring the right up and turn and drop at the same time. Now, if you noticed, I've got my wrist cranked. Let me show you an angle here. So instead of bringing my hand or my arm this way and then trying to maneuver the rifle to twist, what I do is, I learned this decades ago at New Mexico Military Institute. So bring the rifle out, and I'm going to hold it up high for you. Bring the rifle up so that the wrist is cranked, see here, and then turn and drop at the same time. Much easier. I'm going to watch it again. So, as you go to present, that thumb needs to be tucked behind. If you're going to flare that hand, that's good. That's the Air Force technique. But that thumb is tucked behind, not out to the side. So, like this, you're not supposed to be able to see it from the front. So, just making you aware, I'm not exactly sure if the thumb is tucked or if it's excuse me, slightly wrapped there at the small of the stock. So you can see that the Ohio is still slightly furled, not completely unwrapped. Good. Nicely done. That was great. Excellent step off too. So left wheel, step. It shouldn't full step. Next left is the continuation or implementation, execution of the left wheel. You're executing it on that right step and shouldn't be. Right wheels you execute immediately because it's the left step forward. So we execute everything on the left foot. This isn't stated specifically or explicitly, I should say, in the manual, but we can get the idea of this. Left wheel, march, called on the left, one more step, and then execute, because we do that for a column left, excuse me, and it's, I was going to say left flank, but we executed on that right foot, that pivot, but anyway, left foot, execute those. So spacing is getting a little away from why did you step over, US? Why are you taking right steps? You're stepping like this, stepping away from the center of the formation. You made Ohio step over to you. Why is that? Did you even notice that you were doing that? And then right rifle guard has to also take a step over. So everybody's moving over really shouldn't. So you're using the flank technique instead of the face and march technique, which, that's your choice. Left rifle guard though is who I'm looking at right now. And yeah, everybody is stepping over eventually. You don't have to, and you shouldn't be. You should nail that position and stay right there. So I'm trying to left, and you should have taken that left step, Commander. The left step. You took two though. It's flank over. Left step should have been a 24-inch step. Then close, start your mark time, and turn. It should happen. It should be flank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In 8 steps, everybody can be finished. So, while that was a flank, a left flank, and not the face in march, it would be an inside flank, a flank going to the right on the right foot's platform. I don't get the stepping to the right there. It should not be happening. But you're not executing a 90-degree turn. It looks well. I don't think so. I can't see it specifically. Yeah, it looks like you're rounding your corner going around Ohio. That last step needs to be. Oh, I wish I could just incrementally go through this. Well, maybe I can. So that left step should have been bigger. And I know you're stuck behind the Ohio and having to move. But that's just the nature of the move. Yeah, why the shift over to the right? Well done on the halt too. So many teams want to just slam their feet in there. And, oh, it's sharper. No, it's not. It's not sharper. Good. Excellent. So, color bearers, did you on the parade rest? You have your hand like this, arm extended down. So on parade, did you bring your hand up so that your forearm is horizontal? Because that's actually part of the guide-on technique of parade rest. Obviously, we don't push the staff forward. This is where guide on staff, flag staff, okay, everything's the same here, but we're not going to push the color forward. We're going to push the guide on forward. Oh, you did. You did. I saw the hand slide down. That's why the bunched Ohio there. Okay. Five, 6, 7, 8. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great, Commander. Good with the timing of the commands. Very well done. Boy, it looked like that was different. Now, you still took a little bit of a right step forward. So, Commander, you executed a nice left step, but then your right step came a little bit forward, then you brought the left in and started to mark time. So remember, it's flank with that right, full left step, feet close, then mark time in place, of course, march in place, mark time, and rotate at the same time. Judge, why are you saluting? The eyes right is not for the judge. Ooh, let me see that again. Yeah, you're coming forward. All right. So now I need to go back and watch the other. So on this left wheel, so as you're coming up, you say left wheel, march, left guard is supposed to stay in place, and everybody rotates around like that. What happened here is here's the spot where left guard should have been, and everybody went forward and over. So left guard pulled away from that spot. Now I need to see the right wheels. Yep, same thing happening here. So the guard has to stay in position. Yeah. It's going to be very different with the guard staying in place. You all have that, what I call visual memory, of the whole team moving forward through that wheel. And what's going to happen as soon as you have the guard stay in place, it's going to mess up everybody. So if you're using, see, this is the, well, it actually doesn't matter. So Army or Air Force technique, both of the staffs have to have a slight incline forward the whole time. Are you going, oh, you're not going across the body? Okay, so you're angling over. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That angle is just is good. Should be a little more over the shoulder, but holy cow, that's excellent. Man, I'm impressed. I really am. So it's not a right face. It would be colors turn, harch. 1, 2, 3, 4, go automatically. But you did well. That would be a colors turn off. Man, holy cow. Very impressive. Very impressive. I really enjoyed that performance. That was nice. Boy, that was cool. All right, one of the things I wanted to to mention. So, left guard, also trail guard. See right here as you're at port, where the upper sling swivel band is, it's at chin level, which is where Army and Air Force puts it. Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard puts it at eye level, so that the right arm is more horizontal than angled like that. Anyway, so having it at chin level means that the transition that you make from right shoulder to present, or even port, that transition needs to be port position, then port arms. I use the term port position to mean that your hands are on the rifle in another position, even like this, other than port arms, which is hands right here. So the port position, that means the rifle is at the port position according to your body, splitting the left shoulder over the right hip 4 inches away, upper sling swivel band at the chin. That's the port position. Having your hands here, that's port arms. This is port position. Port position. Everything that at any time your hands are somewhere else, the rifle stays at the port position. Your hands then move, push the rifle, bring the rifle into whatever position that you're going to. So that transition between right shoulder and left shoulder, right shoulder present, left shoulder present, or port, or going from left to right shoulder to order. The port position is there in the middle every single time, and it should be that the rifle is brought to that port position. I know I've said that a million times now, but I just want to hammer that home. I'm so impressed with that performance. That was just fantastic. Now imagine what you can do with the knowledge that you have that I just gave you in this. I want to see the next performance, even if it's a practice. I really want to see the next performance. I know you're going to have to work. You've got some visual memory and some muscle memory worked in there that shouldn't be. So trying to get that visual memory, muscle memory out of there and establish new, it can be difficult. But boy, you're already sharp. You're already doing such an excellent job that I'm really so impressed. That's awesome. Boy, well done. Really well done. That's fantastic. All right, I look forward to the next performance. Whatever you want to send my way, I can't wait to critique it. I'm so impressed with the school. Green High School Varsity Color Guard. Green High School, you're doing an awesome job. Just fantastic. I got to come to Ohio. I really do. Thanks.